In 2003, American troops invaded Iraq in response to the United Nations report that weapons of mass destruction were aimed at America. The result was Operation Iraqi Freedom, a war that occurred throughout our young lives.
During the war, U.S. President George W. Bush led a worldwide coalition against Saddam Hussein and his evil government.
Americans chose to fight in the war for various reasons. Many valued and respected their own military roots.
Well, my father was a Marine. I decided I wanted to give it a shot.
It was kind of a given. I came from a military family background. Like I said, my father was in the military. My parents divorced when I was probably about 10 years old, and my mom remarried another military person, my stepfather, and he was in the military. My brother was in the military, and so on, so on, so on. So it was pretty much a given that I was going to go into the military.
In high school, my freshman and sophomore year, they had a junior ROTC program, and it was actually a Marine Corps junior ROTC program, and we would go on field trips and visit military bases, and it really seemed something pretty awesome to do. Go and see the world and just have exciting opportunities. I think it just really spoke to me that would be something exciting to do.
In order to prepare for modern warfare, soldiers were given sometimes severe yet important special training.
3 months of little communication, if any, with your family. You had to write letters. You spent every day with your drill instructors. You did a lot of PT, rifle manual, where you learned how to handle the rifle properly, safety, and it was just fun. Well, not at the time, but now it seems fun to me. They also had special training when you messed up. They took you up to the quarterdeck, which is the front near the drill instructor place, and they physically train you for 10 to 15 minutes. Or they take you to a sand pit outside, and you do exercises in the sand pit. But you don't like to make your drill instructors mad.
It was hot at first. I got there, it was in August, and coming from Massachusetts, the weather is a lot different, so the weather was an adjustment, and it is very stressful. You got people yelling at you all the time, and you're doing a lot of physical activity and just on the go constantly. But it was, once you get done, you look back and think, well, that was pretty neat, but I wouldn't want to do it again.
Once enlisted, servicemen took on a lot of responsibilities in very harsh climatic conditions.
Pretty much real hot during the day, and it would probably the lows maybe mid to upper 70s at nighttime. So it was kind of a big swing, from 110 down to 70, 80 at night. Sometimes it's hard. You're away from home, you're away from your family. It is a lot. You're working a lot of hours, and it is hot, and you don't have some of the comforts that you would have at home. So sometimes it wears on you, but every day is. Some days are better than others, just like here too, though.
Yeah. Very dusty, a lot of sandstorms. A lot of the people were actually very nice, but you had people that weren't so nice.
As a military policeman, during peacetime, I would perform law enforcement duties on a base. Kind of like your city policeman. I did that on military installations during peacetime. At wartime, my job would be to take charge of prisoners of war, do convoy escorts, do battlefield circulation control. As a combat engineer, you would help build things. A lot of it was base fortification, then also some of it was explosives, blowing things up, and things like that.
Well, one of my most vivid things is a lot of people that aren't coming back. Because my job was, before I sent myself over there, I sent a lot of other Marines over there. And when I came back, I got to see reports about who wasn't coming back. And found out that I was the one that sent them.
The soldiers who took over one of Saddam Hussein's palaces were surprised by its majesties. It was apparent he had used his country's wealth to benefit himself.
It was huge. Several dozen huge rooms, probably bigger than this school. They had rooms that were probably the size of this library, just for one person.
The equipment used by these 21st century soldiers was highly technologically advanced.
It was the Marines adopted this in early 2000s. This is the desert pattern. They have the woodland, which is green.
Not all servicemen were humans. Some were canine soldiers.
I had 2 dogs. One was Robbie and one was Gunner. It was just me and the dog in an austere environment, and our job was to find bombs. I actually found the bomb on an airfield in Baghdad with Robbie. I noticed a bag underneath the back seat, so we just took off running, and we ran as fast as we could. Come to find out that the driver was a suicide, a VBID, vehicle-borne IED, and there was 55 pounds of C4 in a backpack underneath the back seat. So the only reason that he didn't get it detonated is because the checkpoint that he came in before me, they made him disassemble his phone, and that's how he was going to detonate it, was on his phone. So his phone was disassembled and the batteries out of it, so he didn't have a chance to detonate it because of the checkpoint he went through before he got to me.
Even though our cultures were very different, the Iraqis and the Americans were able to work together.
We actually were glad we were there to help them, to contain peace and get things back to normal.
Strained relationships occurred not only between the Americans and the Iraqis, but also among the various soldiers.
You might have hated each other before that you went over there, but while you're over there, you learn to love each other. It was a love-hate relationship. You love to hate them. But some days it was lackadaisical. We just sit back and really not do anything. Other days were controlled chaos. Everybody, would be cutting up, joking around one minute, and then the next minute, it was, trying to save each other's life. Still talk to them today on Facebook and texting and things like that and everything. Great bunch of guys. Like I said earlier, I only had one biological brother, but I consider all those guys my brothers also.
Being away from family was not easy.
Pictures and videos of my son growing up. His first words, his first steps, all stuff I missed. Missed his first birthday. I missed my first anniversary.
It was hard on him. Missed a lot of birthdays. Missed a lot of Christmases. A lot of school events. My wife, had to do everything. There was, several Christmases where I had to do Skype on the Christmas via Skype. It was hard.
After returning home, our soldiers are still dealing with the consequences of the war.
I had a hard time when I first came home, adjusting back to civilian life. I still have problems with PTSD today, post-traumatic stress disorder. In addition to Iraq, I also served in Afghanistan. And then after those were over, I actually left the highway patrol. I was a state trooper from 2000 to 2010, and I actually left the highway patrol in 2010 to go back over there as a civilian contractor, doing different things and running bomb dogs and doing all kind of crazy stuff. So being in the military side of it, and also as a civilian contractor, a lot of it has affected me greatly. I have good days and bad days, but my family helps me through it.
You know, there's a lot of things I think about now. A lot of people I know that aren't coming back, and I do feel responsible. So it hurts a little bit, but knowing that they didn't know what was going on, they knew what they got into, it does affect you a little bit. Makes you a little bit more cautious. Makes you think a little bit more of your actions before you do something. And hope that this generation won't see stuff like that.
However, the military has honored their service with medals and promotions.
When America is threatened, we all have the responsibility to serve and support our country.
We're not different. We're Americans. You're born here, you're an American. Don't matter what color you are, what race you are, don't matter. Protect each other. Protect America. Protect us. Protect the people around you, your family, your friends, your loved ones. I still love the military. And my feelings for them, I have all due respect for them for still going out there and doing it. The young people that are joining and doing the right thing and protecting this country and protecting everyone so they can have freedom. And for war, I'd rather go before I'd let my son go.